afternoon trivia because we had some afternoon trivia today. My first thing that I got to say is apologies to everybody for the afternoon trivia announcement video today, which was accurate. We started right on time. However, in the video, I mentioned that going into today's games, Andy 8010 had a record of 25 straight afternoon trivia victories. That was inaccurate. The streak was broken last Monday, so we had 2 afternoon trivia rounds in a span of 4 days. Remember, he was stuck on 18 for like 2.5 weeks. Then we had afternoon trivia on Thursday, the February 27th. And then that's when he broke the record, got to 25. And then on last Monday, March the 3rd, he had 8 wins and it got it to 33. So on 3/3/25, he extended the record to 33. So going into today's afternoon trivia rounds, it was Andy 8010 with a 33 game winning streak. Much more incredible than what I thought. I don't know if any of the rest of you caught that, but Andy sure did. He's keeping score, and we're going to keep score tonight on the whiteboard. Talk about what happened today in afternoon trivia. I set things up today at Bear Scott Stadium with a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation, and it did not disappoint. The results today, if you missed it, you missed absolute history today. But I'll break it down for you. For those of you who are not able to come today, we had 8 rounds again. So this is the second week in a row we've had 8 rounds of afternoon trivia. And the first round today on March the 10th was perhaps a first time genre. I don't know if we've done this exact year before. 1965 film titles trivia. This included some kind of generic, basic, well-known films like Dr. Zhivago and The Sound of Music. Didn't include any horror films. And so this game was pretty tight. We had John and Andy going back and forth. John still going into today was the Vegas favorite to break Andy's streak of afternoon trivia consecutive wins. He was not able to do it in round 1. In this game, it was Andy 8010 extending the afternoon trivia streak to 34 games. All right. Equaling Benito Santiago's hitting streak from 1987. All right, the next round was another one we haven't done in a while. It's not a first time, but it's one that we have not done in a while. So this one was music related. Did you love it? Now last week we did songs with, songs with colors? No, songs with cities in the title. This time we did songs with animals in the title. And there was an Elton John song. Nope, not Crocodile Rock, but what was it? Gray Wolf or something? I forget the name of it. Anyway, this was a very good game. This one, I told you history happened today, and we were not expecting this at all, but right before round 2, an old favorite, KB 92 with a dramatic entrance comes in, doesn't make it a big thing with fanfare, even though I sure did. She didn't make this great, look at me, I'm here kind of thing, kind of quiet. Just says, cracks knuckles. Andy was very frightened, and he said so in the room. History was about to happen. So in this game, Songs with Animals in the title, KB picks up where she left off in 2024. This is her first appearance in the year 2025. Right out of the gate, she gets the first point. Right out of the gate, she gets a game ball for her first point of 2025. She rolls up the score to 4-1. She had him in the corner on the ropes. One of his eyes was swelled up. He was panting. He was sweating hard. She had him. But like great fighters do, he started to punch his way out, duck, take some swings, stay on his feet, move around a little bit. Got it to 4-4, and when we had a double steal on the board. It was a gag job for KB92. This is what happens when you just take several months off. I mean, I don't know, maybe she's been training some, but she took some time off. She wasn't ready for the fighter to come back in and win the game after it was a 4-4 tie. He wins 5-4, and KB92 says, "I'll see you guys later," and takes off. A little disappointing. Maybe she had something to do there, but that was not a good look for one of our afternoon trivia legends to come in like that, get a 4-1 lead in her first game of the year. It looks like she's back, and then chokes and just leaves, just quits. Not a good look for KB92. Definitely a moment that will go down in history. Oh my goodness gracious. Andy takes the streak to 35 straight games. I think KB kind of bounced back in at one point to take a look at things, a survey, and then she left. I don't know. Did it hurt her legacy? That's the big question. You be the judge. You kind of had to be there to see it. All right, round 3. We went with kind of language, English related, went with English idioms in this one. This was also a pretty dang close one, but it was Andy again with a big win, extending his streak again. 36. That's a big streak. All right, round 4 we went back to what we did last week. We had a couple of these games, and I usually call it advertising slogans in the beginning of the round, but same thing, company slogans. All right, we had Think Outside the Bun in this one. We had Diamonds Are Forever in this one. And this turned out to be a great round because, tell you what guys, Abule rolls in right before this round. Had it 3-3. He knotted it up. More great competition. It was 3-3. However, it was Andy 8010 pulling it out and extending his streak, getting a 5-3 win in round 4. Round 5, it's made it 37 in a row. All right, round 5, we went with up to this point, and this is where it ended. I stayed with my set list that I'd written out earlier in the day. So the first 5 rounds were completely chalk, went with the set list, and so in this game, 1993 song titles trivia. Heart-Shaped Box, Nirvana was one of them. Baby I'm Yours by some soul singer. I guess it's a cover song. But in a sweep, it was Andy 8010. It looked like at this point he had just deflated the field. Like everyone was kind of like giving up at this point because it was a sweep. And then for the rest of the field, it got even worse in Game 6. We went with a rapid fire round of NFL quarterbacks, present and past quarterbacks. A good topic. Probably should have just done current quarterbacks because today is free agency round 1. A lot of big moves happening already today. Sam Darnold of the Vikings, not of the Vikings anymore. They're going with J.J. McCarthy. He's in Seattle. Justin Fields of the Steelers, no longer in Pittsburgh. He's going to the Jets. More to come on that. Cousins. NFL quarterbacks. And guess what? It was a 5-0 clean sweep for Andy 8010. And you know, this point, back-to-back sweeps. And I'll put a little thing here. There's the 2 sweeps so far. This was where I think the rest of the field really started to pack it in. It looked like it was just quiet. Everyone was kind of moseying around, kind of getting their spaghetti dinner set up, and just like it looks like Andy's going to extend his streak. So this was dominant. This was just a dominant day for Andy 8010, despite a lot of challenges. But in these 2 games, easy sweeps. NFL quarterbacks trivia. This put the streak at 39 games. 39. Okay. We went to round 7, and then this one. Okay, so this was a switch from the set list. The next one was the one that I had originally for round 6. I moved it down and I kept it. So I kept it, but I just shifted it down. And this one was one that we haven't done in a while, kind of like this, a little bit like this. Songs with animals in the title. So this was back to some English, some English related. We haven't done this one in a while. 20th century literature. Poems and novels, and stories and such. All right. So this one, right out of the gate, it was Abule getting the first point, snapping Andy's streak of consecutive points. It was like a 10-point streak. A streak nonetheless. And in this game, he didn't stop there. Andy 8010, his streak comes to an end. It was Abule with a perfecto, nailing it, making it look easy, just calmly rattling off every title. And let me tell you something, folks. It wasn't like The Old Man and the Sea, Ernest Hemingway titles. These were some pretty obscure titles. Most I've never even heard of before. Different people, authors from different countries. One of the most impressive perfect games that I've ever seen in trivia history, and it just happened to come right at a time that it broke Andy 8010's all-time afternoon trivia consecutive win streak at 39 games. Let me tell you one other thing. Not only was this a perfect game for Abule, Andy 8010, who did a hell of a job fighting his way out of the deficit in Songs with Animals in the Title trivia with KB92. Not only did Andy 8010 not get a point in round 7, which is rare in rounds where he's there, where he's present, he did not even get a guess in this. He was absolutely frozen at the plate. I've never seen that from one of the all-time trivia greats. Abule had him completely just stunned, deer in headlights, where he couldn't even type. You might give the assist to KB92, as much as I kind of dogged on her earlier. She may have gotten him beaten and punched and wounded a lot more than we thought back in round 2. Because by round 7, he was flustered. Maybe he just saw the writing on the wall. Yeah, I've never seen him just completely stuck in his shoes on a round of afternoon trivia. Congratulations to Abule for the perfect game, one of the greatest perfect games in trivia history, and afternoon trivia history too. Congratulations to Andy 8010 as well for the 39 game winning streak. It is the new record, most consecutive wins in afternoon trivia. Really earned it. And it's interesting because last night John picked 1987 Major League Baseball season, and a lot of that, I watched the highlights of the Paul Molitor 39 game hitting streak. What a great streak that was. Second longest in American League history of the Brewers. And it was an incredible streak. And Andy is stopped right there with the same number. Incredible. Round 7, round 7 was Andy's Waterloo. And that ended it at 39 games. But we had one more left. And this was for the big cash prizes. And this one was nursery rhymes trivia. Everyone's like, yes, they're nursery rhymes. So stuck with literature, so back-to-back literature ones. And in this one, it was Andy 8010 winning his 7th of the day, 7 out of 8. Was it a sweep? I can't remember if this was a sweep or not. It was either 4-1 or it was a sweep. But it was an impressive victory. It's a hell of a job. Row, row, row your boat to a record 39 straight afternoon trivia wins. And now, going into the next rounds of afternoon trivia, Andy 8010 will have another streak going. This one, a 1-game winning streak. It was a hell of a day. Let's look at the people who were present and accounted for. So we had, not many people were there at first. I will say that. Okay, so Andy with 7 wins. We had DPCX, no JG53 today. We had mentioned John earlier, almost had a win there. Got some points. My DJ, Mr. Shawkinator, he got a couple points in this. He was moving in this one. He was a factor. Chalk had a pretty good day. He also did a good job on the DJ pick with the Cobra, picked the Octopus. Speaking of, that's a record title, an album title with Animal in the title. Red Octopus, 1975, Jefferson Starship. Great pick by Shawkinator. He was in as usual. And then we had the big surprise of the day. Could it lead to, we think that it led to Andy going down in a perfect game. her punching him and doing a lot of the dirty work, we think that was a big factor. But will it lead to a comeback and her, coming back soon and being dominant? All right. She was definitely a huge factor. Got her 4 points in one game. And then we had Eagles 52. Came in talking some NFL, so that was good. Good to have him talking some of the NFL moves happening today. And then we had kind of the big hero of the day for anyone who's like a, sees Andy as a villain. It was Abule, really for a trivia legend, one of his best, greatest hits in trivia, and just an incredible performance there. And then we had JHL coming in a little late there, didn't participate there. And then we had one more that came in just in time for the final game, got some guesses in, and that would be Miss Saucy Salamander. She was referenced in the Afternoon Trivia announcement video. Saucy Salamander was unable to get her first career Afternoon Trivia point. She was asking about trivia for tonight. Hope to see her then. But good to see her pop in. This is what happens when you show up for trivia, even if you're late. As long as you get in while it's still going on, you'll always get a mention in the Afternoon Trivia recap video. There are a couple more big names that came in right after the second we ended it. You know who you are, and I'm not going to mention you guys because that's not how it works. You got to get in on time, no excuses. All right, so a nice, tight, but legendary field. I mean, look at these legends. 1, 2, 3, 4. The big, almost like a Mount Rushmore of Afternoon Trivia. And of course, we can't forget Sharknator. It was great too. All right. Despite Abule's heroics in round 7, the big cash prizes went to round 8. So Andy gets the big cash prizes in this after his 7th win of the day. That is his 15th Afternoon Trivia win in the last 2 weeks. All right. And his picks were pretty basic, kind of the same, kind of repeat type stuff. A, Penn Station BOGO. B, Subway $6.99 flatbread. That would have been a repeat of last week. C, homemade pizza, new. That's something, I don't think we've ever done this before. For the big cash prizes. D, pupusas. Andy asks, what are pupusas? Who knows? I've only done, 10, 12 videos showing what these are. But leave it to the contestants. They will give them time. The contestants will always crap the bed, right, Andy? All right, so this one was a no. We did not want to go back to back. Since he didn't know what this was, or didn't want to wait to find out, this was no good. I kind of thought maybe he'd go with this one, but he didn't, so we're going with this one. And this one has been on it for 3 straight weeks for the big cash prizes. And so this one, I think this is our first thing here in over a year maybe. So this will be our big cash prizes for tonight. And the BOGO, all right, so it's a good pick. Expires on the 31st of this month. See if I got a thing for you guys. Do I? Okay. All right, boys. Right here all along. So, all right. So it's just this right here. So if any of you have this in your area, here is the code, boys. Right there. Yeah, there we go. No, you can't really see it, but Okay, so it is, where's that code? Right there. VAS Imbogo. Okay. That's it right there, yeah. Sub with any, okay, all right. Equal or lesser value. All right. Last time we did this it kind of went downhill, but hopefully it'll be a little better. That's not a bad deal though. Afternoon trivia. The 10th of March did not disappoint today whatsoever. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching the recap video. And I will see you for for the pickup video, which kind of has some like history to it, and then I'll see you for trivia tonight, roughly 8:15. Saucy will be there. Will you? All right, guys. Historical day in afternoon trivia. Who would have thought we could have topped last week? We did it. Thanks, guys.